but that's about it. You know, one guy was a drunkard, one was a blind woman, and one was an asshole samurai. Alright.
Alright. So let's start.
Hmm?
We're going to start when you're kind of young. You know, I do need to ask a question because when you give me like your backstory, all I know is that you are a smith. What were you before that? Were you just a kid? I mean, of course you were a kid, but
I mean, I know what you mean.
Yeah. What was your family life?
I mean, I would imagine it would be mostly just peasants trying to get by.
I'm getting a phone call, so give me 1 quick second.
Gosh dang it. Every time you sit down to do something.
Thank you for joining us, Claire.
Yes, welcome.
Yes, Claire.
Glad to have you.
Need full card for whenever he comes on here.
And Caleb's in the middle of something, so...
So we're free to talk.
Yes. Hello.
For now, but I am writing my brand new fucking one-shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry if we disturbed you, Claire, by the way.
You gonna unmute?
Give her a moment, guys, Jesus.
I've been muted this whole fucking time.
Yeah. You were muted since the last one-shots.
Sorry if we bugged you. Sorry for if we interrupted anything, Claire. By the way, but
not fully. A little, but not fully.
Yeah, you told us last time you were wanting somebody to contact you when these sessions started, so we tried to contact you.
Yeah.
Well, no, the thing was, I didn't I see it that like when the stream like in the chat room, I see where like Caleb posted that, but for whatever reason, I didn't I saw it now like when I scrolled up to it, but before it didn't give me any notification. What was weird. I don't know what the Discord is doing lately.
And all of us sent you a message about it over Discord.
Yeah.
I even hopped into Ashley's chat and posted a message there saying, "Hey, D&D is about ready to start."
Yeah. Yeah, like I've been trying to get a hold of you guys for a couple days now. You guys have been kind of doing your own thing.
I've been too fucking busy with my life mostly.
Yeah. And I know Ashley's been doing a lot of streaming, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we can do at this current point.
Yeah.
Is try to build passive income.
Yeah. I cannot wait to.
Because the stuff that's going on in the world.
Yep.
Hey, Claire, is the casino ever closing down? From lack of workers?
The question is, are we streaming at this current second?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then I don't know.
Yeah. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
She's remotely asleep now, so she probably can't exactly hear you guys.
Hi, random animals.
Hello, rats. You're the only pet that they own that I know.
Rats? We don't own rats.
Rats. Rats.
Oh, Rex. It sounded like you said rats. I was like,
rats.
We don't own a rat.
Rats. We're the rats.
We are the rats. We are the rats.
If we have rats, I don't know about it.
I mean, to be fair, considering all the animals you do have, I wouldn't be shocked if you just randomly decided, oh yeah, guys, we also adopted a rat.
I hope our cats don't eat him.
Yeah. I was so sad because I had to fend off my cats from a baby bird. I had to fend them off so they wouldn't eat it and try and help it get back to its parents. And my mom's like, if we could, I'd have just bought a cage and taken care of it. But I literally looked at her like, I don't trust our cats with that, even with him in a cage. But yeah. I love my cats, don't get me wrong, but they're little fuckers. When Caleb gets back, I do need to mention one thing to him.
Phenomena.
No, Molly, keep doing it. Sonic, if I have to suffer through this, you do too.
I'm sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Okay, time for us to
before we continue, Caleb, I did notice one thing. I don't have my unarmed strike. I only have my monk unarmed strike, not my unarmed fighting strike, which I believe does more damage. So I don't know how you want to do that. I think it does like a D8, like something D8. Whereas my monk currently, I don't believe.
I think the fighting style unarmed fighting only does a D4 as well.
Oh, does it? I thought it did more, but I might have been.
Let me see real quick.
I know it gave other benefits as well, which I also wanted to have on it, so I can just look up what its other benefit was, but because I believe it had an additional thing you could do with it, but I don't know. I could be talking out of my ass.
No, don't do that. So all you do is talk shit.
But that's the thing, though. If I always talk shit, so I'm always talking out of my ass.
Where is unarmed fighting? Where the hell? What the fuck? It's not here. It's gone.
I mean, I know it was made official in Tasha's, so I don't know if we can bring that in, but...
Official stuff. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's a 1d6. Okay, so it actually is a little bit better.
Yeah. And I was just wondering, because doesn't it also have like a secondary effect, or is that not the case?
Oh, okay. So the secondary effect is if you aren't wielding any other weapons or a shield, and you make an attack roll, the d6 becomes a d8.
That's what I must have been thinking of.
And also, at the start of each of your turns, you can deal 1d4 bludgeoning damage to each creature grappled by you.
Okay, cool. So I'll try and keep that in mind, and we can always add that whenever.
Let me, real quick, I guess, add a unarmed strike. Edit item.
There we go.
Don't use it quite yet because I'm still doing.
Oh yeah, you're still editing it. Yeah, okay. We should have gotten together beforehand and figured this all out before, but we're all busy.
Yeah, that's fine. Strength. The damage is old. I'm gonna just do 1d8.
Yeah, because I'm assuming if I'm doing it unarmed, then I'm not gonna have. Then it can just be assumed I'm not holding another weapon.
D8 plus. I think that's how it works. No, well, no, because I'm dumb. Bludgeoning. What is your strength? 17?
17, so it's a +3 mod.
Yep. Gosh.
Here's another question. Considering we established that I can, even with my unarmed fighting thing, I can still use all my monk things with it. Since monk weapons are technically a finesse, I think it's finesse weapon and can use your dex. Does that also count for the fighter unarmed? Or is it technically because different?
I'll let it also count. So you can use your dex if you'd want to.
Okay. I mean, I don't know why I'd want. Okay. I don't know why I'd want to, because it's a +1 mod, but who knows? Sorry.
I'll be right back again. It's only going to take me like 2 seconds, so don't worry.
You're fine.
Oh. Ow. Right, I am back.
Okay.
Again. Hopefully it's gonna find one.
Yes.
Alright, so let's start. back when you were real young. Your family did struggle with money. Your father was always working, and your mother was always working too. You basically had to do everything around the house yourself, since as long as you can remember, and you took care of yourself. One day though, an army rolls into town. They don't destroy it or attack it or anything like that. You're part of the domain that it's in. This army comes into town, getting every man that can fight. They take your father. And do you do anything specifically when they take your father?
I do it. To what?
When they take your father, do you?
I do attempt to call out and ask them to stop and leave him alone. And I run up to them as they're taking away my father away.
These samurai kind of like laugh and look down at you and just like, no, it looks like this little one wants to fight too.
Just because I'm little doesn't mean I can't take care of myself. And I'm staring at whichever one just called me little.
So you can take care of yourself. Can you take care of other people? We could use a little maid around the camp, as he kind of just pushes you back a bit.
I can do whatever you think would be useful. I already take care of this house. I can do it whatever you need me to.
As he's perfect, as he grabs you by the hair and just starts pulling you as well.
Ah, let me go!
As you were taken with these samurai, with your father as well.
I hug him and I'm just like, just stay by his side.
Yeah. You spend your time in this camp with these samurai. You follow them around. Whenever the camp moves, you go with them. You're kind of just... Basically, you just clean up the camp. You clean up after
basically
everyone.
An errand boy.
Yeah. You're just an errand boy. As, one day, as you're cleaning up things in the smith shop, the smith who is creating something asks for your help.
Okay, sure. What do you need?
Yes, I need to get these orders out. Hand me some of the metal over there.
I do so.
As he basically just starts ordering you around, and by the end of the day, it's getting real dark. It's really hot. You're really tired. As he's, all right, the day is done. Come back tomorrow. I'll need your help again.
Okay.
And this it starts a little trend. You slowly stop doing the things around the camp, and you just are helping the smith. And it's like this for months. He doesn't teach you anything, but you kind of pick up on some things from watching him.
Yeah.
But
learn by doing.
As he orders you around and you help him. A few months go by after moving the camp around a bit. He starts to teach you some. First by showing you, then telling you, and then eventually he lets you, you're hammering some of the swords, you're doing some of the techniques
working the forge and doing the folding.
Yeah. As you're not too old. You're only around 11 at this time when you start working on these swords. How old is your character currently?
I would say in his late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
Oh.
As one day though, usually after a day of work, you go into the same camp or the same tent as your father, and you sleep. One day though, after the soldiers come back, a lot of them bloody, bruised, some of them being carried. You don't find your father.
I immediately start asking around to figure out what the hell happened.
And the soldiers just, we were sent to scout an area and we were ambushed.
And my dad?
He's like, well, he tried his hardest to fight, the same with some of our other soldiers, but he couldn't make it.
I just immediately, go silent. And I just kind of fall to the ground. And then just, after a moment of barely holding back tears, just let it all out. And I turned to whoever told me that and I said, thank you. And I go back to where my living space.
You go to your living space. It's still in the middle of the day, as you're kind of just in your tent, thinking about your father, thinking about things. As the smith comes in.
Oh, hey, sorry. Were you needing something?
He looks at you, like, I know what you're going through, but I need your help. This is
sure.
Smithing, creating a sword, it'll keep your mind off things.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I thought it was the end of the day. I thought though, can this wait for tomorrow, or do we need to start doing it now?
Well, since the ambush, we need to go on the offense. We're gonna need more weapons or repair some of the old ones.
Take a deep breath. All right, let's do it. And I go, and I help him, and I throw everything I got into helping him do what needs to be done.
Yeah, as he does notice you putting more work into it. As then, the days go on, and some days are just, they're getting longer and longer. Basically, the work days are getting longer and longer.
Yeah. Right.
As he ends up teaching you some techniques and skills that you've never seen before. And we'll do a big time skip here. About 10 years later, when you're around 21 years old, your master and you are very well known in the land for creating some very good swords.
Yeah.
And you start getting requests from all over, not even in the camp that you're in, but just in different regiments, and different people are asking for swords. As your master, he understood some things. He slowly became, he was a teacher to you, but he's just treated you very nicely compared to a lot of the other soldiers in the camp who would pick on you or things like that, and say things because you didn't really help in the fighting in the war. You just helped make swords. They called you weak. That you're not a real man. You don't fight. your master, every time something like that happens, your master's like, don't listen to them. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't even be able to survive.
Yeah. If you say so, master.
Recreate the teeth of those wolves.
I see what you mean. I guess a wolf with no teeth would be rather pathetic. And I continue on.
Yeah. As one day though, the soldiers come back and you see a lot of them are missing. A lot of them are cut up and bloodied, being carried, and more than half of the camp is gone.
Oh no.
As your master calls you in, tells you the news, it's like, well, we had a skirmish with one of the other clans, and as you can see, we didn't make it out of the skirmish well.
That's a bit of an understatement. Half of the regiment's gone. The ones that we have left are barely holding together.
Yes, but I have a job for you.
Yeah.
The battlefield is empty at the moment. A lot of those swords are just laying there.
And you want me to
we
bring
can
them
still
back?
use them. Yes, please bring them back.
Sure thing.
Yeah. As you go towards the battlefield.
Yeah. Would I have been able to get any information as far as whether or not the battlefield is vacated of everyone on both sides, or is there anyone like residual fighters that might be hanging around still?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception.
24.
That's good. You walk into this battlefield, and it is bloody. There are bodies everywhere. Some bodies you can't even tell if they're human. They're charred. But with that perception, you don't really see anyone moving or anyone nearby that seems like a threat, but you do hear some voices, some groaning and moaning, and you do see a slight movement of like a few bodies still crawling.
I go to inspect the ones that I find.
You go up to the closest one, as it is a soldier from your camp, as he is crawling, groaning, and as you get close, you realize half his body is gone.
The hell happened here? I've never seen any injuries like this before.
See, he like rolls over and like looks up at you, and his eyes are completely wide, and then his eyes lose the shine.
I guess
He's no longer moving.
And you said there were a few people who were like crawling or but severely injured.
Yeah, there's a few people that are still crawling.
Is there anyone I can go save? Anyone?
You run up to the next one as you get close, and you realize this isn't a soldier. This is a young woman who is cut up and bloody. She can't move her left arm. She's using her right arm to pull herself.
Can I attempt to stabilize her? Like, can I try and, calmly go up to her and try and help in any way?
As you get close, she hears you and rolls over and turns around real quick and sees what you're wearing and the emblem and the symbols you have on you, as she starts to scream and throw her one good arm at you, trying to hit you.
Wait, miss, please, stop. What happened? Please, I'm trying to help.
You say, no, you're not trying to help, you're a devil.
I guess if she's not gonna let me help, I continue to see if there's anyone around who I can help, but at this point, I guess.
As you back away, she starts trying to crawl away faster from you.
I absolutely shocked and completely just thrown for a loop. I go and I collect as many swords as I can and go back to camp.
Yeah, some of the bodies that you grab the swords from aren't wearing any armor at all. They look like regular raggedy old clothes.
Oh God.
Some of them holding swords they look like farmers.
I try my best not to vomit, and I grab what I can.
You grab what you can, and you head back to camp. Go ahead.
I take it to my master's tent, and I nearly collapse in front of him from shock.
He's like, thank you for bringing the swords. It's your first time on a battlefield.
Why didn't you tell me there was so many civilians? In all this time, you've done this longer than I have. Surely you must have known.
They weren't civilians when they picked up the sword against us.
So is that supposed to make me feel better? They picked up a sword and they got slaughtered for defending themselves?
They wouldn't have been slaughtered if they just listened to us. Lord Nishiana is bringing prosperity to these lands, and these peasants think they don't need a ruler.
I say nothing else. I nod and I say, I'm sorry, Master. I need to rest. And I leave without even listening to what he has to say.
Yeah. As the next day comes, and you go on the next day. What do you do?
I go to do my job as I do, but it's nowhere near as full force into it as I was, because what I saw just took the wind out of me.
Mm-hmm. Your master notices this, and in the next few days he notices you're not really putting much in. But one day you come in, and your master greets you at the door. He's like, all right, we finally made it. We're going. He grabs you by the shoulder and takes you into the armory. He's like, we gotta put everything we can into this next weapon. It's a weapon specifically ordered for one of the captains.
All right. I will do what I will do. I will put everything I can into it.
It's like, listen, you put every ounce of yourself into this sword. This is for the great Shanar.
Yes. Understood. And I go and I do exactly that.
Yeah. As your master shows you what kind of sword you're making, as you're making a Nodachi, which it's normal. You've had these orders before, but this one is just a bit bigger than most. This one is huge, and there are like specific measurements on certain parts of it that aren't on normal Nodachis.
This is oddly specific. Who'd you say we were making this for again?
As he looks at you, he's like, you've never heard of the great Shanar.
No offense, Master, but I've been a little too focused on the craft.
He grabs you by the shoulders like, you live in Nishiana's domain and you don't know any of the captains. The great captains.
I've been trying. Never really thought much of the war or the people involved in it, sir.
He points you at a wall, and you see you see 9 pictures on the wall, and he points to one of them. And he's like, "This is Chandar."
I see.
As I will show you the art for this guy. Let me get it. Oh, that's general. My bad. I'm gonna put this in the Dragon Slayer.
So now that that's being pointed out to me, do I recognize anything in particular about Janar that strikes me at all as
roll a perception.
Hold on, give me a second. Perception 23.
You notice that he has some characteristics and features that aren't on people from or anyone you've ever seen. Most people in all the region or all the area you've been in, this whole region, don't have some of these features.
Interesting.
And you see the lettering that's all sketched into the painting, under him. There's 2 words. One is in the language you read, which says Chenar, and the other one is in another language you don't know how to read.
All right, Master. Let's go to work.
As the whole time you making the sword, your master's just gushing and spewing out how grateful he is that he's making a sword for one of the captains. And he spits out a little bit about this Captain Chenar, as he's like, Chenar's great. He will use this sword to defeat many cavalry. He's known to take out cavalry units on his own, hundreds of them.
Huh. Interesting. I try and just focus on the work and ignore what he's saying, but in the back of my mind thinking about when I went to the battlefield and all the people that were hurt, innocent people that were hurt. And just continue with the work until the day's end.
The day comes to an end. And you go back to your tent. Let's see if you come back to the Smiths again.
Yes.
And this sword will take quite a long time to make. I'll say a few weeks later pass by as you get word that Chanar will be coming into the camp later today to retrieve his weapon.
I guess it's now more than ever. I wait for an opportunity and attempt to sneak into the Smith's place.
Yeah, you get the opportunity when you start hearing like a ruckus, like commotion outside as Chenar has walked into the camp and your master has left the smith to go meet him personally. The smith is completely empty.
Alright. I go in and search for where the sword is.
Your master had set up a presentation for like the moment you open up the smith's store. It is right there on the table, as big as a table, and it has some armor and other weapons kind of set up near it, just so you know of some other things that that Chen or some soldiers might want to buy when they see it.
Yeah. Alright.
The sword is laying right in front of you.
So obviously I see the Nodachi for Chanar.
Yeah.
And I go and I inspect it. I'm assuming it's still in its sheath, right?
Yes.
And yeah. Alright. I don't whisper under my breath. Sorry, master, but I can't be party to this anymore. I grab the Nodachi and any other things I can find. Axe, if I could find an axe and a longbow and or any other weapons. Basically,
you do find these simple weapons.
Yeah.
And you grab them.
And I question, do I happen to see like any like scrap pieces of wood or anything?
Mm-hmm.
Could I potentially fashion it into a very crude mask?
Yeah, you real quick just carve out a mask. Basically, you just create a little bowl that fits your head perfectly and put 2 eye holes in it.
Yeah. Alright. And with that, I take my tinderbox and I set the tent on fire. To cause a distraction to hopefully allow me to leave.
You light the tent on fire. And you run out. I need you to roll a stealth.
Oh boy. Not great.
With advantage since you did set the tent on fire.
Not much better.
I'm gonna do 1/4. As everyone in the camp seems to run towards the tent, just worrying about the fire, as your master just puts his hands on his head and just starts screaming as he drops to his knees. He's like looking at this fire in disbelief as he seems to see something out of the corner of his eye, and he glances over to it, and he does spot you, but you go behind a building real fast.
So as far as I know, he didn't really have a chance to get a good look at me.
But you also notice that the whole time that this is going on, Chanar is standing in the back watching the chaos as he notices you too, and he's eyeing you the whole time you're running out of the camp.
I just stare him down for a moment before taking my leave.
Once you leave, you running through a forest away from the camp as this is going on, and then you hear the sounds of hoof prints and dogs barking.
I'll attempt to keep myself concealed.
Yeah, roll another stealth.
I am really doing really bad on the stealth rolls.
But you're running through this forest. You make turns and twists that try to get these whoever's pursuing you off your tail, and then you hide behind in some bushes, and you see a few horsemen run by and dogs following them. They don't seem to spot you, and you wait a bit, thinking like, okay, this is now good. You step out of the bushes, you go around the tree, and Chenner is just standing right in front of you.
Oh.
This is... I will take that sword.
Only if you pry it from my cold, dead hands, you will.
He gives a half smirk. It's like, I will. And you take off running?
I do, but I also draw my Wakasashi, however the hell you pronounce the short sword's name, and a hand axe as I run.
He's not on a horse, and he doesn't seem to run after you. He just stares at you.
Great. Why do I have the very real feeling I'm never gonna get rid of this guy? And I just run as fast as I can, as far as I can.
Yeah. As we're gonna do a time skip here. I say it's been about 5 years. In these 5 years, you've been dodging the army and things like that. You also learn that Nishiana, the domain you're from, or Lord Nishiana's domain is where you're from.
Mm-hmm.
And basically get all the news that you kind of already know as a player.
Mm-hmm.
And Nishiana is a very ruthless leader, and his army is just bloody and evil.
Mm-hmm.
As there's so many tales and stories of farming villages that are burned completely to the ground. No survivors, not even the children. And how they just keep conquering and taking over land and cities. And that the plan is to take over all of Kyoto. And in these 5 years, you go down more towards the south. As you find yourself in Lord Oshina's place in the capital. Or you're not quite in Lord Oshina's place yet. As we'll say you're in this capital right over here for a different domain.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just picking up jobs here and there when you can. And one day, the city starts being attacked.
Oh no.
As this domain has its own army, and they think they can protect themselves, but then you start hearing the word that one of the great captains is here.
Oh no.
and then you start hearing the name Chanar.
I go and
Yeah, and then you start hearing more words that not just him, but all 6 captains are here.
Have I know my master specifically picked out Chanar, but in the time between then and now, do I know anything about any of the other major captains?
You know some of their names. You don't remember what they look like, or really a lot of details about them. Well, actually, roll a history.
History. I'm proficient in that. Not proficient enough, apparently.
That's still good. You're only level 6. That's really high.
We were levels. I thought we were level 5, but
yeah, you're level 5. So still, that's really high. You know of, I'll say, you know of 4 of the 6 great captains by name. You know Bede. What you know is that he leads a lot of archers into battle. He's known to rain volleys into cities, and just no one can survive those volleys. They're always on mark. You know Chanar, of course. You've met him.
And his specialty is dealing with cavalry.
Yes. You know Geyser, which he is a very he loves to challenge people one-on-one, to like show their worth, and every person he's ever challenged was being down by him. Most of these challenges he gives the challenger a handicap. Geyser will throw his weapons away and let the challenger use his weapons.
Okay.
And then you know Turbish. Turbish leads the cavalry. That's basically all you know about a Turbish, is that he's just he leads the cavalry.
So, how screwed is this city's army then?
You know, when you hear of a city being put under siege by just one of the great captains, usually they win. But with all 6, you know that most of Nishiana's army is here. And Nishiana's army ranks this domain's army basically for every soldier in this domain, there's 1,000 soldiers in Nishiana's domain.
There's no hope. I attempt to sneak out of the city, or at least try and find an opening to get out.
Yeah, as roll a stealth with advantage.
Okay. I'm assuming because they're in the middle of a battle.
Yeah.
Let's see. Stealth with advantage. Yikes. Apparently I'm not doing well on the stealth rolls.
That's fine. You make it. You don't run into any problems.
Well, damn.
Yeah, you're able to sneak around every skirmish inside the city, every soldier you see, as you make it outside of the town. And you just run.
Alright. And I do it. Alright. I just keep running.
Perception.
I know I keep. Perception.
Yes.
Perception.
They just slow down and fire at the hall. It's like they tell every client, we are not going to be, you're not going to find.
You already see some of the soldiers, or some of the, Nishiana soldiers, setting up spikes with bodies on them near the city. And that there is one that is right on the road that you're running on.
Do I not recognize it at all? Do I recognize it at all, or?
With the perception, no. You don't recognize who's on it, you just see that there's someone, speared onto this.
Are there any soldiers that are near that particular spear? Like, did they just set it in, or?
No, there's no soldiers near it. It's like it was set there quite a while ago.
Ah. So this was set maybe days ago. I have a very distinct feeling that me as a person knows what you were getting at, though. But yeah, I try to ignore it and keep running.
And you keep running. It's I'll say you just run south and go into the city over here. You make it to the city in about a day. And you find out that this city and this domain is actually very well protected. This army here is quite strong, and you don't think Nishiana will attack anytime soon.
Finally, some rest.
Yeah, you get about, I'm going to do another time skip. You get about 2 or 3 months of rest in this city. Before one day, you usually get letters or people asking for you to work for them. Like, make a sword or make some armor or something like that.
Yeah.
One day you get a letter and you think, oh, it's just another job. And you open it and it's someone asking you to meet them at a location. And the location's on the letter.
Well, this is ominous and seems vaguely like a trap, but I don't know. I don't know what other options I have at this point. And I go to where the letter tells me.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. You go into this abandoned warehouse. Or you go to this abandoned warehouse. This is the location.
Alright.
As you enter, and in this entire warehouse, there's only one desk. And at the desk sits a man. He's kind of leaning over, reading some things on the desk. You can't quite see his face.
Hello?
As he looks up, roll an insight.
Okay, 19.
Yeah. As you see his face, you immediately recognize him.
Yeah.
This is Lord Nishiana's son. One of his sons. You immediately recognize him as Shiraki Nishiana, the second-born son of Lord Nishiana.
Oh no. Do I even need to ask why you're here?
Oh, you recognize me. Of course you did. I know about you. Sojo, right?
Yeah.
As he gets up and he like walks towards you and puts out his hand to shake. Shiraki, Nishiana.
I simply stare at his hand, not saying anything to him.
See that he just puts his hand down. He's like, right. I know you have disdain for my father and the whole war, but that's why I'm here. You see, I don't really like my father either, and I have a plan to get rid of him. For good.
I'm listening.
But I need some help. And you are perfect. You have the slight inside knowledge and history of Nishiana, and you've had a run-in with some of the great captains. One in particular. I need someone like you on my side.
All right. You have my attention. What exactly is this plan of yours?
Overthrow and destroy my father. So is this a deal? Would you take this job? I'll go into more details in a second.
I only want to know one thing.
Yes.
How do I know I'm not putting a second tyrant on the throne?
I'm not as forceful. I want unification and all of Kyoso to be under one rule, but I don't want to do it forcefully. I want each of us to have a say, and I just want everyone to live peacefully, with no war. Even before Nishiana, the clans fought and got at each other's throats. I don't want any more of that. I want us all to live together. So what do you say?
And he seems legitimate about what he's saying.
Roll another insight.
22.
Yeah, he does seem very honest and truthful with his words.
Everywhere I seem to go anymore, it brings death and destruction to innocent people. If you seriously intend to end this, then I'm in.
Alright, perfect. Getting together a little team so you will be working with some people.
Alright.
If you'd like to meet them, follow me.
I suppose I follow.
Yeah, he leads you to a room. And in this room, you see a guy in the corner, kind of passed out drunk. Don't mind him. If you give him sake, he'll be your best friend.
Huh.
And then you also see what looks like a captain of the domain you live in right now, Oshina's domain. You see him kind of just sitting down at a table.
All right. And anyone
Greetings.
else?
Who are you?
Well, don't you just seem like the sunniest person in the room? My name is Sojo Takahata, at your service, sir.
Is awesome.
Nice to meet you. I think.
It's sure. He's like, don't mind him. He's just a little sour to be working with. As he like motions to himself, a red.
I must say, I'm not exactly thrilled. I'm still unsure about the prospect myself, so I understand.
There is another one, but they're not here at the moment. You'll meet them later.
Well, I suppose it's a start. Although I do have one request though.
Yes.
Is that whenever you're planning, I want to be the one who puts this sword, and I like tap the hilt of the Nodachi. I want to be the one that puts this through Rankar's stomach.
You mean Shanar?
Shanar, right. Yeah. I'm gonna have to remember all these names.
Yeah, well, I think you will.
Excellent. Let's get started.
And that's where we'll end the session.
Well, my part of the session.
Mm-hmm.